In this video, we will show you how to replace the door seal on the Chevy Silverado. This will be located inside of your door jamb. Let's get into it. Okay friends, let's get started on replacing our seal. To be able to gain access to the seal, we're going to have to remove the rear seat. Let's start that by pulling down on the strap along the corner and lifting up on the lower aspect of the seat. In this area, you'll find that you have two 18mm headed mounting nuts, one here and one located just behind it. Now over on the other side of the vehicle, we're going to have to remove this trim panel so we can gain access to the mounting hardware. The mounting hardware for this is 3 push clips. You can use a small trim tool to pop them out of place. That one's staying in the plastic, that's okay. We'll replace that one. A quick inspection will set this aside. And now we can see our two 18mm headed mounting nuts. Now we'll make our way to the center. You'll find that you have another 18mm headed mounting nut. We'll lift this up and out of here. You may have to use a small prying device. A quick inspection of that. At this point, you should be able to take hold of the seat and start lifting it up. There we are. We've got one side separated. Go ahead and do the same exact thing on the opposite side. There we are. Slide this forward. With the seat out of the way, we can start removing the trim panel. To do that, we're going to have to remove the seat belt from this area. This has a small protective panel here. Just pry that out of the way. Now we'll be using a T50 to remove the mounting bolt here. A quick inspection of the mounting hardware. If it looks like it's rotted or damaged, you need to replace this. This one looks fine. We'll set it aside and make our way down to the bottom mounting point. Continuing with that torque socket. Now we're going to start dislodging the corner of the rearward trim panel. You'll have to remove this bracket, continuing with your torque socket. Take hold of the trim panel and give it a light tug straight forward. We don't need to go too much further than this. Now we'll use a trim tool to start separating this. Continue making our way down. There we are. Separate this. Set this aside. We'll continue to remove the door sill panel here using our trim tool. Carefully make our way underneath, gently prying up. We'll set this aside. Moving along, we'll remove the kick panel. Use your trim tool for this. There we are. A quick inspection. Set it aside. Now we can start removing the seal. You'll find that the ends need to be down along the bottom. When we go to install the new seal, we'll have the ends in the very same spot. To remove the seal, typically you can just lift it up and away from the body. As you remove the seal, just give the body a quick inspection to make sure it's not rotted or damaged. As we continue making our way up towards the dash here, you can remove this panel as well. We'll just take hold of that, give it a little tug. We'll continue on with the seal. Just flex the dash out of the way. Nice. There it is, friend. Okay, it's time for installation of our brand new seal. Now, when you go to install the seal, you need to make sure you have it in the proper orientation. Have a look at the very end. You'll find the area that has a U shape, it's upside down, but that's the area that actually needs to fit over the body. It has a metal aspect in there. This portion right here is the rubber seal that's supposed to protect moisture or debris making its way inside of the vehicle. Now, with that said, we're going to start at that original position. We were approximately right about here. You want to take that U-shaped portion and slide it over the edge of the body of the vehicle. We'll continue on bringing this across this area all the way around to the far end. While you bring it around, continue making sure that you press it down onto the body as far as possible. You want to pay special attention around each one of your corners. It's common to not be pressed in far enough. Just double check, make sure we drive it in. Now, as we make our way up towards the dash, it's going to get a little bit difficult. We're going to have to squeeze this area in behind the dash and press it up against the body. Once again, you may have to bend or flex things. Just be extremely careful not to break the plastic on your dash. Before we go too far, just make sure we press it in. Now what you're going to find is we gave you a little extra. You'd want to make sure you trim this to the proper length, but before we do any trimming, we're just going to confirm that everything's completely seated perfectly. After confirming that everything's completely situated, we'll continue on with trimming this. We can take this, slide it right down on here. Nice. Now we can start putting everything else back together. We'll start up at the dash here. For the kick panel, it should have 2 locking clips. One of ours is missing. We'll just take this and slide it into position and lock it in. Now it's time to install the trim panel. Looking along the back side here, we do have a whole bunch of push clips that will slide into the body of the vehicle. Let's try to get this aligned. Press that in, make sure it's secured all the way around. We'll drive this in as well. Install our bracket. When installing these, it's a good idea to use a tiny bit of blue thread locker. Torque that to 39 foot-pounds. Now it's time to resecure the seat belt. Once again, we're using blue thread locker. Torque that to 39 foot-pounds as well. Same process down at the bottom. Install your protective cover along the top. We'll get this aligned, press it in. If your vehicle has one of these seatbelt protectors, go ahead and install that. It just slides over the seatbelt. Now it's time to install the rear seat. Go ahead and take this and put it in position, making sure that it's sitting over each of the mounting studs. Once you have both sides of the seat in place, confirm that you also have the center in place as well. Continue on, we'll have all 5 of our mounting nuts. Start them on, snug them up, torque them to 41 foot-pounds. Now that we have those on there, let's make sure that we install the protective cover. This should have 3 locking clips. You want to make sure that you replace them if you have any available. Press it in, make sure it's secure. Let's make our way over to the other side of the vehicle. The passenger side here. With everything fully mounted, we'll continue on with the seatbelt buckles, making sure that they go up through the seat so they'll be easily accessible for any passengers. Let's get the next set under here. Fold down the seat. Double check, make sure it's completely secured, and double check to make sure our seat belts are where they're supposed to be. Now it's time for the door sill trim panel here. Looking along the bottom of it, you remember there's several push tabs that need to fit down into the body. Let's put this in position, sliding it under the seat first. Align those press tabs and press it down and into position. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. At this point, you want to make sure that you close the doors, take your vehicle for a road test, and listen for any odd noises coming from around the seal. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.